don't go in there. And if we have to modify anything to get it there, we throw it in the trash. We don't put striping on them.
Can I record you?
By all means.
This is interesting.
We just have some very in granite, and it comes from, why am I here? Why in the world would I do what I'm doing? Except for the love of the car. Now, if it looks like a modified Corvette, then that's unacceptable to me in any way, shape, form, or color. And we do occasionally, we don't do it anymore because we don't pay anymore, we refuse, to change the color of the car. We won't even do that. The serial number tells us what it is. If we can restore it back to that, and the company statement is restored to drive, not to look at.
Wow.
I'm here to make a car that drives. It does what it's supposed to do, as good as I can make it. It still never compromises design intent. Every modification to this car, the air door which created this company, it was designed to come back out and never mess up where you bolted on the original. The air latch, the air headlights, you know, the throttle pedal position, any modified seating angles for people like Steve or his brother, which is bigger than him by another 100 pounds. You know, the air scoop that we designed to increase the airflow through the radiator, but more importantly, to get the air out of the engine compartment because it doesn't breathe well. Coming in is real good. You can pull the hood release at 60 miles an hour, the hood will open from the back. It'll raise right up. We just need to get the air out. We make an aluminum radiator because most people don't understand what horsepower means. They don't have a clue. Do you know what? How do you develop cooling requirements?
No.
Any of you know that? It's kind of interesting. When you want to cool a car, you go to the radiator people and say, I want the radiator. You know what they ask you? How much horsepower? The next question, how much horsepower? They don't care about anything else. They don't care about bottom feeder, front feeder, sides, they don't care. And it's an interesting formula to develop the requirements. You multiply your horsepower times 42.5 as a mean factor. That's it. So this car originally had roughly 6,300 BTUs it had to deal with. This one needs 21,000. Okay, you're going to have to do something serious. A Bugatti Veyron, which everybody's seen on TV, I'm sure, they have 42,000 BTUs they got to come up with. They have 12 radiators on that car. Our house didn't cost as much as those radiators. You know, just ridiculous, but people don't understand that. And we have service problems, which you guys are all related to, I'm sure. When you take your little funny car, you know, if you don't have wrenches, what do you do? And I tell my clients, I say, go to the best father-son mechanic you can find, or the mechanic you're going to let work on your car, and ask them this question. What EPA devices are on this car, and what are their acronyms, and most importantly, what do they do? I will guarantee you 9 out of 10 cannot answer that question. But you're going to give me your car and let him work on it, right? 50% of what we do here is backing up. The horror stories I could go in would last till next Saturday of just what comes in here tore to pieces. That's one we had to move and take a roof off, which is one we made in the first place. It was put on elsewhere, a half-inch off center. And then, because it didn't fit very well, obviously, they cut up these roll cage, which is inside, and raised it 3/16 of an inch.
And moved the A-pillar and B-pillar in.
And moved them in. So now all your dimensions are goofy, and this is somebody who had his name on his shirt. Okay? I hate that. They are the most dangerous people in the world because they don't care about the car. I have customers all over the world, literally, And I have asked them to go to Sears or similar, buy kit 14, come back and call me. And we will do it on the phone. And we won the Most Improved Bricklin in California award in 1983 on the phone with the president of American Express, Norm Canfield, who didn't know what the nomenclature of the wrenches was. But we put air doors in 2 Bricklins. We put a cruise control in 2 Bricklins, and he actually come up doing a tech seminar for the California Bricklin owners on how to change your transmission shift pattern. Okay, that's fun. To me, that's great. I went out to California for their banquet. I was at the podium and announced the Best Improved Bricklin and let me do it. I didn't know who it was. I just opened the envelope. Norm Canfield, this guy, bigger than, or as big as Steve, got up, came up and kissed me because that was Norm Canfield. I had never met the man. Never in my life. But we built 2 cars and he was doing tech seminars. I thought that's pretty cool. I had another one, which I'll go in the office and sit down now. This guy's honest name is Robin Hood. I couldn't believe it. He's vice president of IBM. I think it's IBM. Lives in Boca Raton, where you go $50 to drive by the house. He called me in the 70s, one air door install. I said, I'll ship you one, no problem. We ship them all over everywhere. He said, who's going to put it in? I said, well, you are. Because there's nobody in Florida going to do it. Well, I don't know how to do that. I got him some tools to make all this story come to the end. About 2.5, 3 years later, he called me up and says, you going to be in your shop Monday? Well, yeah, I guess so. He said, I'm driving up. Show you what I've done. He said, he was 52 years old when we started this nonsense. He redid the interior. He did all kinds of modifications. He said, I'm having fun. Now that, to me, is the best deal in the world. I want the customer, the car owner, to work on it. If you work on it, you can either really have a comfortable relationship or a love-hate. Instead of paying a psychologist, when you come home from work, you're pissed off, go out and beat on the car. You don't care.
Or instead of beating on your wife, go out and beat on the car.
Yeah.
Well, have you owned this car the whole time since
Absolutely.
you left the factory?
Absolutely. And I know that one over there on the cover, with the body parts laying on top of it, is the only black interior. There's pictures of it when I restored it 3 times. And I got that at the engineering office and took it home on a chain after selling my wife's van to get the money because it was broke to buy that car. And that was the prototype Chairman. And there's pictures of it in there. And it's gone through a couple of lives, but it has not driven a mile in 30 years. And then I've got, 10 or 11 other ones. Well, let's go in the school room so I won't fall down on you guys.